welcome back, everyone. We are finally on our season 4 recap of Stranger Things. Make sure you hit like and subscribe on the channel. If you have not, turn on your notifications so that you will know when we drop our season 5 reviews. Season 5 is coming in a few days. Final season. I'm ready for it. I've been a fan of this show since the pilot episode, probably because I'm an 80s baby and I love 80s horror like that. If y'all know me, y'all know 80s horror is my favorite all time. Sorry. I love 80s horror. And this show, it almost feels like it came out in the 80s. And I know it takes so long to make a Stranger Things season because they get everything with the set design right. Like they really immerse you into that decade. Even the way that their camera lens and cinematography is structured, everything looks 80s. So this is one of my favorite Netflix series. So sad to see it go, but them kids ain't kids no more. So we got to keep this train rolling.
Mhm.
CT, a thoughts on Stranger Things season 4 and how does it compare to the others for you?
I liked it. It wasn't my favorite season. It's probably my least favorite season. But it's funny what you said in the beginning about them getting the set design and stuff right. They also got like the casting right and like the acting direction right. Because
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking about like those. What made me think about it was the last season with Billy. That actor is good, but he comes off like a person who grew up in like the late 70s through the 80s, like the character, and like seeing just his demeanor and his style is directly from that era.
Yeah, I
And
feel that way about, like, especially the older ones, like Nancy, Steve,
yeah, yeah,
Jonathan, like,
yeah.
they all seem like they came from,
From
like,
then, and then like
80s.
I'm thinking in
Yeah.
my mind like these people who playing these roles don't have a freaking concept of that shit. Like they never experienced that, and but like that's why I saying like the acting direction is the shit, cause cause those kids never had any 80s life experiences to draw on in order for them to like formulate those characters. But Billy was the one for me, like the porn guy mustache, the fly mullet. Like, come on, man. He had the whole thing. He had the demeanor and the look. So yeah, I dig that. But yeah, this season was the weakest one for me. I still liked it. I didn't like how the last 4 episodes are 6 hours long. I ain't like that. But but it was a dope season, all in all.
I liked it. I feel like they tried to bring back the scariness with season 4. Um, I liked that it was a whole lot of nods to Nightmare on Elm Street, which, I'm glad Robert Englund got his Hollywood star because between like this last season, I mean, season 4 of Stranger Things, and what was that just came out, Black Phone 2? Like, it's almost like he's like a blueprint for a lot of horror when it comes to haunting people in um
It's
this
like
other realm, dreamlike realm, exactly, and with these psychic
ethereal.
attacks and and the way that they can like bend certain realities within people, and how there's like an ulterior motive to why some of these things are happening. And they even had Robert Englund in season 4 of Stranger Things. So I liked the season.
Hold on, who was
And
he?
I
Who was
feel like,
he?
huh?
I don't remember Robert England.
He was Vecna's dad.
He was. His eyes was missing. Damn. I just realized that now. Yeah, it was his, but it was the makeup of the eyes going missing. That was Robert England.
Yes,
Damn.
if you gonna make Vecna real Freddy-ish, you've got to pull in Robert England. So that's what I liked this season. I didn't like the what they do when they're always splitting the crew up. I wish that they weren't split so long in the series because I like it when they're all together. And even if they split off for a little bit and come back, but they were split so much that we had to constantly
flip back and forth.
Take
It was
time.
like
Yeah,
watching.
yeah, we had to constantly take time for different storylines.
It was three different shows at one time. That's why the last four
Right.
episodes were 6 hours long. Because like that whole Russia thing was a totally different story. Like it was kind of like an anthology. Like it's a story that's connected by a general thread, but it's totally different, totally departed from the freaking original story. And it's like we were there for a long time, and it wasn't bad. You know what I'm saying? But it was Russia, and it's like that is so far away from freaking Hawkins. And then the other people were in like California, so wasn't as far, but nobody was within like driving distance. And like I felt that this season. I think that was my biggest gripe, like how they split them up, and how like it didn't allow for much interplay between the group. But then the way it ended seemed like the group was gonna be like together for the last thing, but we already know they're gonna split them up.
This season we got more backstory about what happened with 11 and when she left that lab. Because with season 1, when we met her, she was pretty much leaving. So we don't necessarily know what happened between her and Papa and them kids. Like we've been getting little Easter eggs, but we never really truly got the full backstory about what happened. So throughout the season, we go on this adventure to kind of explain exactly why and how she left the lab in detail. Not that we know something bad happened and she left, but we began with where the kids are now, the not so little kids anymore. And one of those things we see, of course, 11 and uh, Will, they moved away, and so Joyce is kind of taking care of them now that Hopper is gone. 11 is struggling in school. And I'm glad that they finally that they showed that part of her, because before we didn't see her in school. They had to keep her hidden, for obvious reasons. But they moved away. She gets to be in school now. They Joyce gave her Hopper's last name, so she's going by Jane Hopper now. And
And she ain't got no powers.
her powers were completely gone from the last encounter with the mind flayer. And I needed us to actually see that part, because remember, she didn't have the same upbringing as most children. She was raised in a lab. Her powers were put at the forefront, nothing else. So her social skills are a little bit different. The only reason she fit in with that crew in Hawkins is because, they were the outsiders anyway.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't have to do no work.
As Will say, Mike makes outsiders feel included. So that was a
Right.
big thing for this season too, as well. But
And yet she gets, we see her in school, so she doesn't have any friends outside of Will. And she's struggling because her speech is broken, because when we meet her, we see how her speech is.
she ain't have no kind of formal education. She was
Yeah, she had no
technically
formal education, and she
taken as
wasn't.
an infant to a lab, which I'm like, why they ain't teach them kids basic stuff?
Right. So that I guess, because when you want somebody to be a weapon, what do they need to know anything for outside of
I
what you
guess.
want them to know?
And
So
then like you don't want to make them too capable in the real world, because if they escape, they'd be like Michael Myers. How the hell can he drive?
yeah, so she didn't have a whole lot of skills outside of the group that actually liked her and cared about her. She didn't know how to socialize with everybody else. And she was struggling with like basic educational subjects, especially English, because of the way that she talked. And it wasn't a whole lot of being able to teach her correct grammar, because ever since she even left the lab, it's been one thing after another. This has been the first time that she's ever been able to sit down and just
Real
learn the
life.
correct way to speak. And when children are mean,
Yeah,
and
children's
they're not
assholes.
they don't know her history. They don't know her life. All they see is someone who doesn't speak correctly and someone who struggles with articulation and grammar. And
Mhm.
we'll be looking at her like, that's a damn shame. Will was sitting back and just let her get bullied. He was sitting there back like, oh my god,
He's not a protector though. Like
I can't
Will is,
I
he's
can't
the
believe
type.
they're being so mean to her. Like he be looking like he be sitting there clutching his pearls, like just
He's
letting
the
her like
type.
Will get in there and help her. But I
He's
guess
the
as
type that
somebody
gets
who was
bullied
bullied
too.
themselves, he
Yeah,
don't really know how to like
yeah,
jump
exactly.
in. He's seeing it happen without because somebody always came to like be there for him and save him. Like Will, you could have did something at least if stand next to her. Like at least if you get bullied, you don't get bullied alone. We'll just be standing there like, God, damn, she really going
Will
through it.
has never had that drive. He's never shown that in any. The most Will has done other than survive the upside down by himself, which is like that's the greatest feat in the show. Like he survived the upside down for a long time by himself. But other than that, only thing he did was figure out how to attack Billy when he had the mind flare in him with the whole sauna thing. He did nothing else. So I didn't expect nothing from Will.
I would have hoped so because I'm like, you sitting here and you are just sitting there and letting her get bullied. You could like you could have did something. But Mike is coming to visit them, so they're both like I say she's like they're both happy. His best friend is coming, her boo thing, which they've been kind of on weird. It's weird when you're long distance and your kids, so that's kind of been weird. But we'll get more on their dynamics later. But yeah, it was very interesting seeing her actually function in a school environment, especially when you know how harsh
Yeah,
how, how harsh children could be.
it was funnier seeing her lie about what was going on.
That's what I said.
Why
We'll get
you
into
why
that
you
later.
lying to Will, man? I mean, why you lying to Mike?
Yeah, she was definitely put. That's so. We gonna talk about that later because he had the wrong impression about what he was about to walk into.
Oh yeah.
And then we get to the other crew back in Hawkins, and they have joined the Hellfire Club, which is a D&D group, which again, it's fun. I wouldn't say they had to too much find themselves. They just found their other tribe. Like we're not the only ones that like geeky stuff. Let's hook up with the other crew of people who like geeky stuff and be together.
Yeah, but
But
Lucas.
at this time in the 80s, there was a thing called the Satanic Panic,
Uh-huh.
and they kind of got associated with it due to Eddie Munson over there supposed to be in high school looking like he's on his fourth year in college.
He was on his like third year as a senior.
Like, are you at this point? It should be illegal to keep you here.
Go get your GED, fam.
At this point, like, sir, you can't come back here another year. I don't know. Maybe they didn't have that rule in the 80s because at this point now, they gonna only keep you for so long. Because by the time you start, by the time it's a two in front of your eggs, you got to go. You got to get the hell up out of here. It's time to go. It's time to go. So I appreciated seeing that they were able to kind of find people that were like them and keep playing, D&D in this new environment.
Yeah, but not Lucas, remember?
Well, yeah, Lucas though joined the basketball. Well, Lucas was still in Hellfire Club, but
Yeah,
he also
yeah,
decided to
but
play basketball.
yeah, that's why like they had their whole beef. Like you gonna ditch Hellfire Club for basketball? You don't even get in the game.
They did say he be on the bench though. They be like,
But he did get in the game and hit the winning shot. So
exactly.
come
Like
on.
he's like Lucas is like I can do both. Like I can play D&D and I can play basketball. But it comes to that when people start to feel like you're changing. You know what I'm saying? Like if this is what we've always done, you're the one that broke off to do the different thing. But Lucas is all also like we can do more than just you can do multiple things and
Yeah.
have multiple
His
groups.
whole thing was like we're in high school now. It's a brand new beginning. We can be anything we want right now. You know what I'm saying? He was trying to fit into multiple crowds. I don't fault in any of them for how they felt about the situation. It wasn't a bad thing, but it was just showing growing pains.
And this is one of she was dating one of the
She was
Lucas
being
teammates.
the basketball captain.
Yeah, and she was going through some things, and she actually becomes the first victim of Vecna, and the first thing that we see. Actually, that episode where they show like what happened to her and how that like I was here for all of that. But yeah, high school dating the basketball. But see, she had a life outside of the life that he thought that he knew about her. So people think they know you sometimes. And of course, we meet Eddie Munson, like I said, our the third year senior. Sir, I don't even know why you still there. Apparently he was only in school to be playing D&D because
Yes,
we weren't doing any
that's
schoolwork.
what he said. That's why he was. He said that.
Like we're not doing anything educational wise here. We're just here wasting taxpayers' dollars at this point.
Bruh, and then yeah, so while all this is going on, your girl is still trying to do her thing at the paper. And
She
since
ain't
and
gave up
since,
on her dream yet.
and since her boo done left, he ain't her sidekick no more. She got this nigga. Yo, Fred. Fred was annoying me. And I knew Fred wasn't gonna make it, man, but they
Yeah,
introduced him. Like I knew Fred
I
was
was
like,
just gonna say that you
Fred,
know
Fred go, man.
somebody got to be gone, but Nancy's still trying to get her internship and go to school and all of that stuff. She said, one paper hired me. That's you know what." He says, y'all didn't want to give me job. I'm gonna keep going because I have career goals. She's Nancy said I ain't gonna be
Yeah,
like mama.
but like she mad aggressive, man. She got Fred. She low key got Fred done in. That Fred had some things that he was dealing with on his own too, because everybody that got had a thing in their life that was not going right for them. So of course he was gonna be a target anyway, but she kind of put him in the line of fire by dragging him to these investigations.
I was just gonna say yeah, because he didn't have to go with her during those investigations.
Yeah.
But she want to be nosy. She again, Nancy being out to prove herself, be leading people astray.
Yeah, man. You better be main character potential gonna hang out with Nancy. You better be part of the recurring cast.
And we didn't know at the beginning that these were signs of what is happening when Vecna picks you as his victim. And
Mm-hmm.
so she's going to meet Eddie Munson because she need a little something something. And this is one thing that she just randomly sees. And like, throughout this episode, like things just start getting weirder and weirder for her. And it's already enough that she was kind of dealing with this, this pregnancy, that all this other stuff starts to happen to her too, and things started spiraling really really quickly for her, and we know it didn't end too well. So she meets up with Eddie Munson, and apparently they had a bit of a friendship
Yeah, what
before then, that she was able to like meet this guy in the woods and trust him, hang out, whatever, to
everybody know he's the guy for go to get the stuff, right? And
but I,
like,
I I feel like that he kind of like he liked her or
oh
something. You know
yeah,
what I'm
no,
saying? Like I
they
feel
had
like
a
he went to
conversation.
him, but it was more than this is the guy who can get me something. I
Yeah,
feel like she went to him
they were
because
they were familiar with
outside
each
of her
other.
basketball, athletic jock boyfriend, that I have friends outside of the popular crew type thing.
Yeah, like they knew each other when they were younger, like before high school, and that's why like he had a whole speech about like you kind of a goody two shoes. I've known you for forever, so why you coming to me for the druggers? But that whole thing was crazy to me because like how you gonna use recreational recreational activities to like prevent an already happened pregnancy? Like,
Children, remember, they ain't the smartest.
yeah, they not. She was just about to damage that kid. That's all she was gonna do, and she was still gonna have the kid.
Because they a lack of information. Um, Again, we actually see the bullying that happens with 11, and she's not used to being able to not protect herself.
Beat somebody ass. Don't I'm trying to
Yeah,
dress her up.
she,
She
she
ain't used to
she's
not
used to
being able
she's
to
used to
just
winning. She's like, I'm a winner. I win things. Like nobody gets to get one over on me because you'll get folded real quick. But you can't compete with bullies if you're not equipped to to deal with them, especially when they're finding all of your flaws that you haven't yet worked out yourself.
Very
Like
true.
11 knows her speech pattern is different from everybody else. She knows she's struggling with learning. She knows that the man that she chose as her father and that chose her to be his daughter is gone, that she's in this new place and just actually trying to live a normal life for the first time. These are all things that she's trying to work through and heal. And bullies see those type of things and will target you. And she wasn't ready. And of course, like I said, making a fool of herself, and Will just standing there looking.
She
Which
she
that's
just ain't have she just ain't have a weapon in her hand.
but
11, 11 ain't no chump, man. 11 will fight you without powers, as we see later on.
Will could have still did something to help her. Um,
What Will was gonna do, man?
he could have still at least
Will,
stood beside her.
Come on, man. Will
Or at
is
least said, "Come on, it ain't." He could have just said, "Come on now, come on, girl, it ain't worth it. Let's go home."
Will is dealing with the fact that he's on the outside looking in, and 11 is the one that's in.
In my mind, he was just standing there and just letting her take it, looking like, I don't know what to
You
do,
don't
girl.
know what to do. He's not proactive. We've been over this.
Hopper is reaching out to Joyce to let her know that he's still there. And it takes somebody to be smart and aware that this was a sign. Because
Hmm.
for anybody else, they would have been like, I don't even know what this means.
Well, shoot, she had run in with Russians, last summer. So she like, hey, what's this random Russian doll doing here? And when she called Murray and was like, hey, what's this random Russian doll doing here? And Murray was like, well, it's probably something inside of it because they're hollow. And then he was telling her like how she could crack it open without hurting herself because it could be like toxins in it or something explosive in it. She had to like rig up the tree to drop the thing from the tree to break it. There was a freaking note inside. But yeah, she is the right one, bro. Like if you are missing, or like if there's something going on where it needs some stuff figured out, you give it to Joyce. Cause even if she can't figure it out, she's gonna be such a dog with it that like something's gonna something gonna get figured out. Cause she's just persistent as hell. Especially after after she got Will back. Like after that, it was just she's the most
These the
vigilant
kind of
mom.
parents that I'm just saying, these the kind of parents that we need instead of the ones that be acting like they so just oblivious and naive.
Oh yeah, she was in
Ain't
there. It'll
nobody
be
else gonna
over.
investigate. Joyce gonna investigate and see what's
It'll
going
be
on.
it'll be over in there if she was in there. It'll be over. Like Pennywise would have to attack her directly, like out in the open, because it's
Her and Charlotte team up. Phew, over with.
over
Um,
with.
they said, well, you know what? Lucas ain't the only Sinclair.
That's hilarious.
There's two of them. And so they got her to you know, to be a part of this, and which is funny, you know, the thing that she would pick on her brother for. They then
Mhm.
immersed her into the world of D&D. And I love that for, and not only immerse her, but she's good at it, to where
Mhm.
it's just like she might be the youngest and the girl here, but we're gonna rock with her because she know what she doing. As usual, Erica come in and she get down to business.
Yeah, it took for Dustin to convince her that she was a nerd because she didn't realize how nerdy she was. She was a nerd the whole time, and she just didn't want to embrace it. And it was Dusty. It was like, "Oh, you're into all that stuff? You're a freaking nerd."
And you know, the poor Eddie, he's had to witness some things.
Yeah, and I like how they set this scene up because the scene is set up from Max's perspective. Like we see her leaving out of the trailer park while Eddie is coming in with the girl. Um, and like so she's the last time she sees the girl is with Eddie, so that's wild. But like to know that later on that she is kind of like foreshadowing that she's gonna be a target in the list of targets. It was 4 targets, and this was like her first brush with their situation, because she was going through something right here too. I forgot why she was leaving, but she was leaving because she was going through something. But she's having issues with Billy's death for one, with Billy's demise for one. But yeah, I like how they set this up. But the scene when Eddie was trying to get her to snap out of it, and she started floating, and he took off.
He'd be like, I might be sky high, but I ain't never been up this far to see some like this.
And it's like, and then he kind of beat himself up for the rest of the season for running. I'm like, bro, it was nothing you could do, bro. It's really nothing you could do unless you had some music that she. And all his music was metal. So yeah, nah. Yeah, and then the next day, these cops, man. I said this last season. I was like, what happened to the cops? They replaced one of the cops with a new dude, a new actor. But they were so clueless all season. They was one step behind Eddie every time. They didn't realize that that bro was like not involved at all. Like it, they were the worst. They were like the secondary antagonists were the cops. You muted.
Oh, I said, oh, my bad. The cops and Hawkins don't ever do their job. Outside of Hopper and he ain't there, they don't
do nothing. Yeah.
Not at all. And of course, Nancy Drew over here that 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 thinks she know everything, that thinks she be on top of everything, decides that she wants to step in and see what's going on.
Yeah.
And when it comes to Eddie Munson, Dustin is like, that's my new bestie right there. I gotta see what if his name is in it. It can't be what y'all think it is because he's not that type of person.
And then Max was like, "Yeah, but I saw him with her last, so." That's why it was funny because Dustin and Max never like hung out to like just the two of them. But they went on their own little investigation thing. They went to the video warehouse, video blockbuster stores, whatever where Steve works, to figure out where Eddie lived because of his rental records. And so Dustin had looked up like just the last name, then he looked up like the movies they rented and figured because of the specific videos that he rented that was Eddie, and he was right. That was cool. Nancy is just going to the crime scenes, dragging her partner to the most dangerous places.
As if like, girl, he ain't wrapped up in this world.
He ain't got no plot armor.
But he ain't never seen no foolishness like what you done seen. Like you about to thrust him into a world that he ain't ready for, and that ain't even give him all the information about what the possibilities could be.
Yeah, I don't like that either, cause Nancy, everybody when the crime happened, everybody who knew something figured something. You know what I'm saying? They didn't automatically say, "Oh, it's something supernatural," but they kept that possibility open. If you in that in crowd and you know that, and I'm tagging along with you, let me know.
This is why he don't know he didn't know where this could lead to, and she did. Horrible. Yeah. When we finally see good old Hopper, your boy was going through it.
Yeah, he was, but he got that's when Shorty had to call Murray in, and he was like hooking her up with like what was going on. But Murray knew if a letter got out of the Soviet Union and got out of Russia, and it was like the way that it was sent and how covert it was. He was like, "Oh no, Hopper has to have a Russian on the inside helping him." So he figured that, and Joyce was like, well, "Why would anybody help him?" And dude was like, "It's Russia. They doing it for money." And that's basically what it was. Hopper had a dude he was gonna pay to get him out, and bro ended up being a real cool dude. Now, bro's associate Yuri, he was terrible.
I like Murray though. I'm glad they kept him around. Murray proved himself to be useful.
Yeah,
Like, sometimes these extra characters they be like, why are you here? Murray useful. Murray got
yeah, yeah.
information that
He's a
helps.
crazy conspiracy theorist who be right sometimes. A lot of
And
the
he
time.
always be and he be down for the mess. Like if
Oh
you
yeah.
call him, he go instead of like he don't be giving like, I don't know, y'all. This seems dangerous. I ain't coming. You call
And,
Murray, he gonna be
and it's funny how he
he
started
gonna
the
tell.
show like in an adversarial way because he was the private investigator investigating Hopper, like investigating the things going on in the town and thinking that Hopper was part of the cover up. And Hopper kind of was, he was covering up 11. But it's just crazy how he ended up being like on the other side of this, and now he's a pivotal like member of the group. But you know what? If anybody like doesn't make it out of the last season, Murray would be like at the top of my list. I hate to say it. I like the character, but
Don't be trying to kill off my favorite people. Because now I know we gonna Steve, the Sinclairs, and Murray. That's all that need to make it right there.
can't touch the black kids. Either
The
black kids alone.
Sinclairs, Steve, and okay. Anybody else is expendable. So we Mike gets there, to visit the crew because he ain't seen everybody
It
in a
was a
minute.
spring break or something like that.
And 11 is trying to and she's been, giving him these letters, giving him the wrong impression, trying to make it seem like she's Little Miss in crowd, Little Miss popular. She's got all these friends and stuff. And again, Will was just Will. That the look that you give people when they like when you
Like, come on, man. Why you lying? He did ask her that.
like dude, the complete opposite of what popular is. Like
Yeah,
this ain't you. Absolutely not, and ain't even a chance in hell that you ever gonna be popular at this school.
and Will was trying to tell Mike, you
And
know
but it's
what?
like
Like,
why he's like why you're overly trying to impress somebody that already likes you.
yeah, that too. But
What's the
Will
point?
was trying to let Mike know, like, hey man, she's not doing as well as you think she is here. And Mike was kind of like brushing it off. In the beginning of this season, man, Mike was very much a sometimey friend, man. Like, I don't know. And I know Will got secrets and Will got some things going on, but sometimes Will is saying things to Mike and Mike's not hearing it. You know what I'm saying? Like Mike's not getting it in the moment. He's so oblivious.
Well, he wasn't getting it with 11 either. Like you said, he was oblivious to both of them, and I get it. They got their own lives in these, in their different areas and states and schools and stuff. And so at this point, Mike is only kind of seeing and hearing what he wants to from both of them.
Yeah. And Mike is so optimistic to the point of like annoyance. He once the thing is over, he feels like it's fixed. And it's like, no, it's not how life works, man. Like this shit's ongoing. Even at the end of this season, when like Will kind of pulled Mike back in and let him know what his value was to like the group. And that kind of brought Mike back to like the top tier friend that he was supposed to be. But at the same time, Will was telling Mike, like, hey, like 11 got to be ready for the next time. And Mike is like, ain't gonna be no next time. And Will was like, nah, bro. It's gonna be the next time.
Like
Like,
she ain't even ready for school right now. And like, she's not even ready to be in a social environment. But again, Mike wants to see the best in things, and
everything.
if y'all pretending everything is good, all good, then I guess I ain't got no choice to believe you.
He get it from his mama.
Everything must be good. Yeah, that's a whole other thing. That family is going to be explored in season
Man, not
5.
like with it. No, and they explored them in this season.
I
And
mean,
that,
like a lot more. Like the pilot episode for season 5 is going to be titled "The Disappearance of uh, Mike and Nancy's whatever her name is."
oh dang.
Yeah. So like the pilot episode for season 1 was like the disappearance of Will Byers. The title of episode 1 in season 5 is like the disappearance of the baby sister.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't aged her up. So we're going to see a lot more of Mike's family in this upcoming season, and hopefully the dad step in and do something more than what he's been doing in the past seasons, but I highly doubt it.
He was
So
terrible in the
everybody,
last season.
yeah.
That man was
So
terrible.
everybody is on Eddie Munson's neck because they feel like he's part of the satanic panic.
Yep.
Oh, he had to do something to this precious cheerleader because
And now
he be doing that devil stuff and playing that devil game and listen to that devil metal music and he don't graduate. He had to have done something.
I don't think that he don't graduate was part of it.
He
Like,
don't graduate, so he
I
got to
think
be
you
there
just
doing something.
like you just throwing shade at Eddie, but but yeah, dude name was Jason, the team captain, basketball
As
captain,
many
Jason.
times I don't watch the season, I ain't never pick up on his name.
Yeah.
Because I guess because I always called him like douchebag or jerk face because he got on my nerves.
He
But yeah,
did get on
everybody
my
is
nerves, but I understood. I understood. I mean, it's hard to explain. His girlfriend's like eyes were like sunken in, and every limb was twisted in a different direction. And then the cops tried to hide what happened, and he ends up seeing it, like seeing how she looked. And I get where the satanic aspect comes from, especially with the environment already primed for that. But this
but
is
like their
when the
way
group,
was thinking like I'm like how they know this ain't like y'all just assume that it's that there's no other paranormal
I
supernatural
mean, they're
possibility.
thinking it's
But
a
it's
ritual, like you know,
yeah.
like the Manson family type stuff. You know what I'm saying? They like a satanic ritual. But this is when the group started forming. So we had the ground team who was the Eddie team that was Max and Steve and Robin and Dustin, and then you had adversarial teams forming this season, and one was the Jocks. It was Jason and the Jocks. Then you had the cops who were also adversarial. So many groups.
The cops they was just in the way is what they
Yeah,
were.
they were always a step behind, so they weren't in the way. They were
Y'all was just uh, d- just meddling and wasting everybody's time. Again, we have Nancy putting people.
they were dragging this man to this thing, and this is when it confirmed for me because they got pulled over right here, and the cop was talking to Fred, and he morphed into something weird, and Fred wouldn't say nothing about it. First off, I'm not the person to see something paranormal in the moment and not say something. I just don't get how that's a trope, how that's a recurring thing. Because in real life, I'm sorry if I'm the only one seeing it, I'm still gonna say something. If you and me are in the living room and I see a ghost and you don't, I'm gonna say there's a fucking ghost.
But some people think that saying stuff like that will make people think. Some people are so afraid of people thinking that they're crazy, they won't say things like that. Oh, if I say
Mm,
that, somebody's gonna think I'm crazy. If I
mm.
say things like that, somebody's gonna think I'm crazy. Like I had a client actually this week tell me that like one of her close friends has like bipolar. And so there are certain things that she will avoid saying and telling people because she doesn't want people to think that she's like her friend. Like
That's
people still
crazy.
feel that way. Like I'm going to hold back on things that I'm feeling or things that I may be experiencing because I don't want them to think that I'm like this person because I saw what they put this person through. I saw what
That's
they put
crazy.
them through and y'all not going to do me like that. So a
Freaking
very yeah, very real thing.
freaking like reserved by freaking by association. That's crazy. It makes sense though. You deal with all those type of things.
I
My
say
first
you
time hearing the secondary embarrassment on that level.
if they've seen some people that have had to go through some things with their mental health that didn't look therapeutic and it looked the complete opposite, that will make people really afraid to speak up about things they could be experiencing. I've seen it happen a lot. But yeah, good old Murray said I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, he
And it had to
figured
be
out,
this.
and so he could speak Russian. So he had to They had to figure out how to get in contact with the guy.
Yes,
And then
Murray then came down for a visit and then came to cook dinner.
again.
He not even came, he not only came down to help out, but he came and cooked dinner for everybody.
Yeah, he's so imposing, but it's not a bad thing.
That's just like, I'll be here for Murray adds value. The value
Yeah,
that
he
what
does.
we call a resource. This is what I mean when I need you as a resource. Be useful.
Yeah, and useful and informative. And Max and the crew found Eddie first, which I'm like, they, everybody sucks except these kids, man. Like they literally figured out to go to the video store to figure out where this guy may have been. The cops didn't even check that. They ain't check no records, no nothing. They just
And the only
driving
supervision
around.
that they ever need be Steve. It's like
Steve.
Steve always gets stuck with these kids. No matter
This the second season that Steve's job put him in a position to help the crew.
and then the third season where he'd have been providing supervision of children that he ain't related to either.
Man.
Steve is the designated babysitter at all times. But
He
Steve,
did get a well-needed rescue. Like for once this season, somebody came to Steve's aid. For one time in all the freaking series, somebody came to Steve's aid. I dig it though. I like Steve, man. That's my dude. Dustin likes Steve too, but it's weird how they act to each other. It's like a little brother, big brother type of thing, but they're it's kind of like an adversarial tension there, but at the same time, it's all in good fun. But they be talking trash to each other.
It's like they can't take away my Steve.
You know, like Steve makes Dustin a better character to me.
I agree with that. Yeah, so when things weird start happening, the government immediately
I
gets
forgot about
involved.
them just till now. So there was 3 adversarial groups. There was the jocks with Jason, the cops who were late, and then the government who thought that the attacks in Hawkins were maybe the work of 11. So it's like, bruh. And it's like the government, they meant well. They just didn't do well. You know what I'm saying? And they sound like the government for real.
It's all over the place.
So that's going on while all of this is happening. The government is trying to find 11, and then they figure out that the way that the cheerleader was found, where her body was, it happened to another family. The whole entire family was like that. It was a Creole family. And this when they went and met Robert England. I did not realize that was Robert England.
How did you not know?
I don't know. I see it now, but it didn't click at all. It didn't click at all. And I watched that twice. I watched that episode twice.
Where was your cognitive dissonance? Not put 2 and 2 together with this.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I didn't. But Nancy was on it because as nosy as Nancy is, and like as much as that's a problem for me sometimes, this is how they saved Max. Because Nancy got the original story of the attack of the Creole family, realized that it was the son that did the whole thing. And Robert England, the father, he tells how he survived. And he survived because a song came on the radio that pulled him out of the trance that he was in. So because of that, they knew how to fight back. So Nancy did her thing, man. Like that whole Creole family case felt like a red herring, almost like just a dead end. But until this moment, when they figured out how to combat Vecna. So yeah, Nancy was on it this season with that. She got somebody got, but she did save Max.
I guess we, unlike when Captain America said we don't trade lives here, Nancy doesn't exactly agree with that statement.
Nancy don't know Fred like that. She ain't
And
no
now
Fred
no one
like
ever will.
that. I know, right? Oh man, it did Fred so wrong.
They did. Um, Make sure you all hit like and subscribe if you are just now tuning in. And if you have not, check out the channel membership. There is content that is on the channel that is not for the public. There are short films. We have movie night. There are things that have been unreleased. There, you get news and videos and polls before everybody else. Sometimes there are things that are reserved only for the channel members. So make sure you go ahead and check out the channel membership. Thank you for joining our channel's membership. We have a lot of good content for you to enjoy. Members only perks such as Blockbuster Movie Night, unreleased videos, early access to videos, and so much more. You're going to have a lot of good times here. Let's get it, final girls and final guys. So Joy says she's finna go get her man.
She sure did.
She said,
That's
F
the
them
only
kids.
reason.
She said, F them kids, Jonathan, you got it. I'm about to go get my man.
I mean, it was spring break, so it was good. They didn't need no parental supervision. And as far as she knew, everybody was safe back home. Hopper was the only one that, he was supposedly not here no more, and all of a sudden he is. So he's the only one that she had to worry about. Everybody else safe, according to her, as far as she knows. But yeah, man, she ain't spelled no. She didn't pause when she figured out bro was alive and in Russia. She called a flight quick and brought Murray because he speak Russian.
And I will say this, and I don't usually be siding with you men folk like that, but I'm gonna speak on behalf of y'all. Y'all better find y'all a Joyce, okay?
See, Joyce is a two-headed sword, man. Like if you find a Joyce, you got to be a good dude.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. First of all, you got to be a good guy because she wouldn't do this for everybody because that ex-husband of hers was a piece of work.
Oh, but she also gonna find out. Ain't nothing you gonna be able to do around Joyce because she's too persistent.
All, that number one, exactly. You got to be a good guy. But if you a good dude, get you a Joyce, okay?
Yeah, man. Like Renona Ryder kind of was my crush back in the day too. Like number 2 after Jennifer Love Hewitt. But
when somebody say I'm gonna go to the ends of the earth for you,
oh man, bro,
she ain't take that lightly, okay?
Yeah, she didn't. And but she had a lot going. She had a lot of bad shit happen. And Hopper provided. I won't say he provided stability, but he provided something for her to lean on, even though it wasn't the most stable foundation because they trauma bonded. They met through trauma. Like, I mean, she lost a guy in the middle of this. And then prior to that, after her son went missing, her husband was trying to collect the money for bro going missing. So like that's all she had. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, she deserved her a Hopper, even though Hopper be tripping, but she deserved her a Hopper, because she had a Rudy wasn't bad either. She deserved a Rudy for real.
Yeah, he was. I like Bob was my guy. Okay, I love Bob was dirty, and he was even though he couldn't fight, he was brave. He made sure that her and the kids was okay. He dealt with her he didn't know her even that long or know what was really going on with the upside down. But he said, I'm gonna jump in and help with the knowledge that I have, and I'm gonna be cool with it. Like she deserves her a good dude, and she said, you know what? All right, kids, y'all on your own. Y'all should be fine. I got.
She didn't do bad. I mean, she had 2 kids with the worst one, but she still 2 for 3. Like she got 2 good dudes out of the 3 that we saw. Oh man,
Comes
Lucas
a
with the
time where
block.
you actually had to choose. Sometimes it's this or that. You can sometimes you can have different groups of friends, but when one group of your friends don't like the other group of friends, Lucas, you got to make the right decision. And I understand Lucas wanted to be he wanted to be his own person and try different things, but those jocks was a little off, and they was
Man,
it was
they
some
was too.
bullies. You can't
It
be
was.
friends with
It
bullies.
wasn't even like it was beyond like they was like Stephen King kids, like the bad Stephen King kids. Like
Don't make me pull up the tropes again. Now you quick to pull up the damn Stephen King character tropes.
they were. I'm like, yo, y'all, bro bought a gun, like bro bought a force multiplier, a force enhancer. They had freaking knives and stuff. They was hunting Eddie. Literally, like when one of the jobs got by Vecna, they was trying to get the Eddie who was on the boat, like physically get him. Like they weren't gonna. Eddie was gonna not make it. He wasn't gonna make it that night. They had got to him, and like, bro, they're all high school kids. Like, where do we? Where in the world is there high school kids with a mob mentality this strong that they'll go and take out another high school kid? And then Lucas is right there with him. And the whole time he's like, oh shit, this shit getting worse and worse. Lucas was the blackest he ever was in this season. This was his blackest season. He had a lot of black moments.
Moving right along. So after 11 pretty much knocked the little bully girl upside of her head because she embarrassed her in front of her man. Like that was the last straw. She was like, I let y'all embarrass me and make a fool out of me all of this time, all in the sake of I'm just gonna take it in stride and try and hopefully you'll be my friend one day. But when you embarrass me in front of my boo thing, in front of that was the last straw. And 11 knocked the shit out of that little
Met
girl.
that girl with a freaking skate.
Knocked the best out of her.
That
But then again,
reminds
remember
me.
that she also doesn't have a good concept of consequence because she's normally used to going after the bad guy for a specific reason, and that's what she's. And remember, she was trained to do that, but she hasn't had a lot of experience like in the real world community settings, and not being taught that that's not an okay thing to do. And that's not her fault because she didn't have a good upbringing, that she didn't know that that was the best thing to do. Oh, girl shouldn't have embarrassed her in front of her.
Oh yeah, Shorty had it coming. Nah,
because Mike didn't want you like that anyway, girl. Mike don't want you.
She split fam. She split that girl head though.
Yeah,
like
yeah, she didn't really have that wasn't the right thing to do.
yeah.
And so the little girl pressed charges and they came to get 11. But once they found out who it was when they got her, there's just like, we need her for another reason.
Yeah.
So she's not going to jail. She's going back to the lab. Because Papa needs you to get your powers back.
Yeah, she went willfully because she wants her powers back for one. And like two, she doesn't know that Papa is still alive. Because she thought he got
she thought that she had gotten rid of him.
Yeah. So that was like the guy who told her he can get her powers back. He left that part out for a reason. Like he didn't tell her about bro still being alive, but he knew she was gonna go back if she knew that. And like for good reason though. Like he did eventually help her, but he still, the way that he went about things was just wrong, man. Like it was wrong. This little girl, man, we gotta remember that. And like Papa don't remember that shit. He don't remember that these are kids.
They're little weapons in his.
They're little weapons. It's like, yeah, exactly. It's all it worth for him.
And so now Vecna's target starts to get a little closer to home. He said, "I'm gonna start off broad, and then I'm gonna zoom in." So now we've zoomed in on Mad Max here as the target. And another thing, he was going after people that had like things going on. That's
Going on.
why Max had the idea to go and talk to the school counselor to
Hmm.
see like it's got to be a pattern of why Vecna is going after specific people about what's going on.
Yeah, they were trying to get the girls' records, the
Hmm.
cheerleading girls' records. Yeah, and but see, she had already been seeing stuff. This was like her confirmation that she knew it was her after this when they were in there stealing records, and like Vecna just came to her. Like she heard his voice and everything. She heard him like reaching out to
Yeah.
her, and it's exactly the same thing that happened to the other two, Fred and the cheerleader. They had those premonitions leading up to them getting got. So
And Max in this season was still grieving
Billy,
Billy
hmm
and feeling guilty about the way that it happened. And I get it, like, Billy was a jerk. He was a real asshole to her. But when you watch somebody get plucked apart the way that it happened, like in front of her
and then
face,
and not only that,
it
like he
was
did
it
it.
was a gruesome death.
Yeah, he did it for them too, though. So it's
Right.
like the last thing you saw with this guy who's your stepbrother that you really kind of got beef with, was him sacrifice his life to make sure that you survive. So yeah,
In
yeah,
front of your face where you had to
she
see
and
what happened.
she never got like closure to like him and her never like clicked before he passed. You know, like their moment of togetherness was when he went away, when he sacrificed himself. Like
And
so,
so
yeah.
yeah, she's kind of just been
She
carrying
she is
that.
raw dogging that trauma like crazy because she is just playing her music and she's really not dealing with it. You can
And
tell
then
the
think
whole
about,
piece.
and then think of her closest like girl friend is gone. So she didn't even
Yeah,
have like 11 to be with her. Her and Lucas aren't together anymore.
yeah, they've been
So
off and on since the beginning. Like, how y'all keep breaking up, man?
because they're kids.
They are kids.
So
Yeah, and again, the government side story. This whole scene was trash. So they come in to get this is the the lab sent the two guards to protect Will, Mike, and Jonathan. Because they know this, the government figured out that the last place 11 was here. So when they came to get 11, they had a gunfight when they had a shootout, and yeah,
at the
one
house,
of
and
them got
they be
taken.
forget these, like, these are y'all really be doing some crazy stuff to these kids.
I mean, it's the government, man. They don't care. They don't care about no kids.
They did not. I'm like, y'all done ran up on some kids,
And
basically.
they was in there busting like they had a whole shootout in the crib with three kids running. I like that scene though. I like that scene. Yeah,
So
and then this is the drag for the season to me. Like, you had this massive thing with the government figuring out where 11 was, and they had the shootout. Then we go from there right back to Russia, and it's because the groups are so far away, but it was still engaging. But Yuri, man, like he was such a he was such an opportunist.
yes.
He was gonna make a buck regardless, man. Even when he got captured, he still tried to negotiate to get paid. Like,
With all this going on, you thinking about money.
that's all he thought about the whole time. The whole time. But yeah, so and then so they what happened? They met Yuri, who was the prison guard's contact to get freaking Hopper. Yuri set them up, drugged them, is gonna send them to the prison too. And then they got the guard set up. So now the guard in prison and Hopper's in prison together. And Yuri has Murray and Joyce tied up at his place. That was a crazy scene.
One of my favorite scenes of the season was with Max because she was hitting her final stages with Vecna, and that's when Nancy communicated the message, like what is like we can try to pull her back from this, like what is her favorite song, and but how can we get her? This is very very well acted by Sadie Sink. So it was a very good song. And this we got that running up that hill. Um and this song is now forever associated with Stranger
This
Things
scene, yeah.
at this point, but very well acted. Very wonderfully shot scene. Shout out to the cinematographers. The scene of her floating in there, and you see the boys, reaching for her, like they find for their lives to save her life, because they're like, we ain't never seen nothing like this before, but we got to do something. They got to do something. Like what can we do? And they acted as quickly as they could to save her at this time. At least at this point they say it didn't, they didn't get it to her at as good as time as they did here, because when Vecna's after, like Vecna was like hell bent on, like, I'm getting her.
Mhm.
And so, but they at this scene they did the best that they could to try to get her back down, to the point where after this she was listening to Running Up Thing for the rest of the season.
Man, what? I mean, she like it started out with her listening to it like in school, but and like I'm pretty sure that was like her coping mechanism for what she was going through. And like I mean, it makes sense that her coping mechanism was the thing that brought her back to reality.
I,
From
I
what?
didn't think about myself in this scene until later, because I've always been a headphones person. And y'all showing my age here. I'm an 80s baby. So I had a cassette tape Walkman.
Oh my god!
I did, and I would always have the headphones. And then, I had a CD player, and I always had my headphones. I'm always somebody who would have headphones listening to music, and then when they start being able to let you put music on your phone, and I plug in my headset and keep it my music playing from my phone, and then now I have like a set of beats that
So
I
you one of them you one of them unapproachable women.
if God wants you to find me, you will find a way to intercept yourself. If he wants you to get to me, he gonna allow you to get to me. But yes, or AirPods, although a lot of like I'm a person who always has to have that feedback going on in my head, be listening to something um playing, like the music, especially because my mind is a lot, and I also have ADHD. And so sometimes to help me filter out a lot, I, even when I'm at home by myself and I can play my music out loud, which I try to do more of, um I will still put on a headset and listen to stuff in my headphones, like that. And I thought about it, and I was just like, dang, I was like, I've always been a headset person, and I never even thought about it before this. And like sometimes what that does to, and like even thinking about people who always have on headphones or AirPods and stuff, like maybe they just trying to calm their minds and stuff. Maybe this is the way that they're calming their nerves. This is the way that they're self-soothing. This
Right.
is their coping skill for a reason. Look, just looking at
I
it in
get
that aspect.
it. I get
And
it. But
it might
most,
get, it might save your life. You just never know.
I
Okay.
was saying like most of the time when I see that activity here, like from women, is women who ain't trying to talk to nobody. So they so they put
Oh no, that's not. I don't put them in just so that people don't talk to me. I put them in because I get overstimulated, and music helps to calm my nerves, and it
yeah.
helps me to like focus in on like a task that I'm doing, because my brain gets split into several different places. So I'm like, if I could just put on this headset, or I can listen to this music, or I can listen to like this podcast or something, I can have some feedback in my head, so I can focus on what I'm hearing and then the task before me. So it's more of helping me to focus in, or helping me to like decompress. If I've been like overwhelmed or stressed out for the day, I can just focus in on the sounds that are playing from my headset. So more or less worried about other people and them trying to intercept me, but more trying to cope, my own personal coping skills that I've gravitated towards. So it's not always a don't talk to me. It's I'm trying to cope. with whatever the stress of the day or being overwhelmed in that moment is. And it was, as you can see, that's what she was kind of helping her to do with her grief before then. It's just like, if I can listen to this calming music, I can just maintain, if it's just me and what I, if I'm listening to what's in my headset, I can focus on that more so than what may be going on with me behind, in behind my eyes, what's going on in my mind. If I could just focus on what I'm hearing, or audio books, I do all something, just some kind of feedback to help me refocus my attention. But moving right along, they go to the house.
Man, this.
See, this is where the Nightmare on Elm Street Freddy thing. Because how did you not know this was Robert? How did you miss this? The
I got
signs
you.
were there. It's on your nose. It
I
was
got
right
you.
there.
It was in my face because I saw the man's face.
Exactly. It's on your nose to
But
kind of
nah,
do
this
further
this
their
freaking house,
investigation. and
man.
and think about, even when we think about Derry, or Welcome to Derry and Pennywise, like it's you go in that house, you
Yeah,
asking for it.
yeah. Ironically, that's what's coming up next, probably. But but yeah, I would have never. I don't know. These kids are bold and brave as shit. I would have never just gone to the house. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because she was in, the upside down is a representation of Hawkins, but from what we found later on, it's actually like it's stilted in time because the time is behind regular time in the upside down. But because it's a representation of that, whatever is in the upside down in a given place is also in the right side up in the same place. So when they went here and they went to Vecna's house, he was there. He just in the upside down. I would never put myself, you know what I'm saying? Like, I would never put myself, and the only reason why this wasn't the issue for them is because he doesn't yet have the power to just cross over. That what the whole season was about. Him being able to let the other side out. Because he didn't have 11 had the powers to open portals and throw people through. And he didn't. So like, but if he did, they would have got right here that he was in the house. But this is how they figured out with the lights that he was upstairs in the attic in the upside down.
I love the parallel shots to the real world and the upside down, and I love. That's one thing I do love about the signature cinematography of this show, is when they can take and they can flip us and move us to Hawkins and then flip us back into the upside down to show the parallels of what's going on in the upside down as compared to what's going on with us.
Yeah.
Taking us back to that season one, was it the flea and the acrobat, when the teacher was describing, like, how you have like the acrobat on the rope, on the tightrope, and then
Oh
the
yeah,
flea
yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
can be walking on there, but what happens if the flea can also be walking
On the
simultaneously at the bottom of that's what I was thinking about in this scene. Go, it takes it back to season one, when the science teacher was explaining this concept of the upside down before they even really knew what it was.
it
But they
was
definitely need to know what's going on with it in this season.
there's a transition from this season that plays onto that too. When they're riding their bikes.
Yeah, that's what I really, really like that shot. That was a good shot from this season. That shows us how parallel, but also how similar the two worlds are. And we meet one, Henry. He was Papa's first
Mm-hmm.
experiment, so to speak. And he actually had to, because of what happened when he was young, and Papa found out that he had this, um I don't want to call it the shine, but he had something.
He basically had to shine. All these kids got to shine,
He was
man.
gifted, and Papa wanted to use that to exploit him. And once the things happened with his family, he found him, put him in a lab, and tattooed at him. And Henry basically grew up here.
Yeah.
And he befriended 11 because out of all the other quote unquote experiments, children, he said 11 is the most powerful, and not just the most powerful one, but that's Papa's favorite
Mm-hmm.
outside of him. And he's like, I can take this because, she doesn't have a whole lot of social skills and social cues, but I got to get the hell out of here. Henry has been planning and plotting to get the hell up out of this place for years. But not also was he trying to manipulate 11. He actually, before they became enemies, he did want 11 to come with him.
Yeah, he
Like
wanted.
he
Yeah.
wanted her as a companion. Like he wanted to
Hmm.
like work with her to say, like, you powerful, I'm powerful. Let's like take this shit over together.
Yeah,
But
she was a mirror image of him. Like he saw an opportunity with her. Like their bond felt like, well, prior to her realizing what happened, it really had like this older brother, younger sister type of bond to
mhm,
it. And it kind of felt like he wanted to give her opportunities that he didn't have. Like he is scarred from how he grew up, his upbringing, and he wanted somebody who could like understand him on his level, so that like he could have something to share with that individual. He had never had nobody to share anything like positive with him prior, so I got that. It's one of those like vicarious things. Like I'm gonna give you the childhood I never had, but at the same time, he also knew, like, as naive as he kind of seemed when it came to 11, he also knew he couldn't just outright show her who he was. That's why he hid her in the closet while he went and massacred everybody. He didn't want her to see that, because he knew if she saw that, like, it would expose him as being the not so good of a guy. So he's very aware of what he is. And the fact that they put that chip in him to control him,
mhm.
like, yeah, like everybody knew what you were, bro. Like you were always a villain. He had delusional moments of seeing himself as more as a hero, you know what I'm saying, throughout the flashbacks. And what's crazy to me, because I had missed the episode or something. I went back and saw the whole thing, but I hadn't realized that the flashbacks were from the deprivation tank that she was in, like the Matrix type shit. So it was like a dream sequence. I didn't realize that
Mhm.
until like later. I'm like, oh damn, because I had missed the episode when they had put her in the thing. I had
Mhm.
missed this episode. But yeah, but this whole sequence was crazy because episode 1, when we first meet 11 and we get a glimpse of her backstory, we think that she's the one who did all of this. We think she's the one that took out the lab, took out all those kids, and it was
And
Vecna the
she
whole time.
and she thinks that she did it too because her memory was kind of wiped because of
Yeah,
it was a massive trauma, and it was a whole lot of her using her powers in a way that she had never done before. Like it was a lot happening at one time. And thinking about, even when we think about the kids from Derry, we know that when you're a child and you experience something super traumatic, your mind will make you repress a lot of things. So she didn't fully process what was happening in this moment. And so her being able to see it in a playback is like, I don't remember this happening this way, but now I
mhm,
understand this is how it went down. And it
yeah,
makes more sense because it was more than she could handle and understand. And of course, Papa or nobody would exactly explain this to her later because they wanted her to think that she was this type of person. They didn't
yeah,
want her to know what was going on. They were manipulating her even more so than Henry was, because at the end of the day, he didn't want to hurt her. He just didn't want her to know that he was so dark. In his
yeah,
mind, she would eventually understand
yeah.
and
She would
see
accept
where
him over time if
and
yeah.
accept what he was doing. But they were, because he knew that these other people, he knew what they were capable of as well, because come on, they suppressed his power for so many years. And so
Mhm.
when she seen that he had done slaughtered all these kids, she pushed his ass to the upside down.
But see, I don't understand the taking the kids out part, because I understand the facility, like all the adults, get them up out of here. But bro, you are the oldest one. You have an army, a mini army of kids that you just freed, and they all got powers. Bro wasn't thinking, man.
He said, F them kids.
Vecna wasn't thinking, bro. Bro was trying to have him a two man team to take over the world when you could have had a 20-man squad of psychic kids. You know what's funny? I just said that, just made me think about Akira. That shit was just like Akira, the anime. which you ain't seen yet, and you got to watch it.
I add to my list of unfinished. And
Akira ain't nothing but juice with powers. The movie Juice with Powers. That's all it is.
add that to my list. But again, moving on to the Russians because we are just hopping all over the place in this
Damn
season.
sure is. But when they came back, I wanted them to come back because I was like, y'all left me hanging with this whole Yuri got them trapped thing. And we went away from that for a long time. I didn't realize how long it took to get back to that. And then it was an awesome scene when we got back to it. They had to fight the Demigorgon.
Right. And to see what it was interesting to see what Hopper was going through because this was the most information we got about what the Russians going through because we had always gotten little blurts of them in each season. This was the season where we got to like really and truly see the nefarious things that they've been up to. And that Hopper was truly fighting for his life here.
I wonder though, because like how the Russians got it set up, they have a specific black site. Like, that base in prison ain't on no maps. So it's like it's a hidden place. And they do all their experiments with the upside down and stuff there to keep it contained there. In the United States, their lab is in Hawkins, but in the outskirts of Hawkins. But all the stuff, the gates and stuff is opening all around Hawkins. To me, it feels like the Russians have a better setup to handle the upside down. It's just the Russians were more incompetent in how they did it, but they had a better because their shit was isolated. And then they had to find what's her name, Susie. This was the Jonathan Mike, the guy that get high.
Argyle,
yeah, and Will group. They had to figure out what 11 was because they had just got attacked by the government at their house.
And Susie came in clutch once again.
Susie's household is ridiculous.
I said, I don't know what kind of what in the world is happening here. I was so confused.
Yo, it reminded me. It's a show called Loud House. It's a cartoon. It reminded me of that. It's like I think it's one boy and like 8, 9 girls or whatever. They're all siblings. They all live in the same house. It reminds me of that. The whole entire thing.
But Susie used her intelligence to help them tap into the towers and radio frequencies to figure out where they can actually pinpoint where 11 is being kept. So again, Susie's pretty good resource too.
She is, and she know more than what they saying. She know more than what they're telling her, because like she was asking questions like, "Oh, this is for a video game. This is for a video game. It doesn't even exist yet." She was like, "Okay." She knew it was something else. But I do like that they're not telling everybody everything because her knowing some of this stuff will put her in danger. So, but yeah, I like how they got to the computer though. They had to trick her dad into leaving the room so they could use the internet. And then they talked about internet too for the first time, and the kids were like, "What's the internet?"
And they found one of the portals to being able to cross over from the upside down.
Watergate, as Dustin called it.
Which so they could use that to their advantage because their plan was we got to defeat Vecna.
Yeah,
I don't know what made them think that they had the ability to do that, but
they know 11. They were like, when 11 is astral projecting, she is vulnerable. Her body is vulnerable. So they know when Vecna leaves to attack, his body is somewhere vulnerable. They just got to figure out how to cross into the upside down. And they knew his body was in his house because they felt him from the upside down when the lights flickered and they went to his house. So
I'm not saying that it wasn't a good plan. My thing is, I'm saying my blackness would not have allowed me to participate.
I mean,
I
One.
understand the plan. This was an intelligent plan. That
Yeah,
seems smart, but
it's a smart plan if
I
you got.
probably would have been like, y'all let me know how it turns out.
It's a smart plan if you got a whole crew to do it. Like if Hopper was there, and Joyce and Murray, if the other Will and them, and if 11 was there with her powers, yes. But y'all the B team, man. Y'all the B team left behind in Hawkins. Like that plan was not a good freak. I said it like this: 11 knew she had to get back to them because they were not gonna make it after she figured out what their plan was. She was like, no, I don't think y'all gonna make it out of that one. And then Joyce got her hopper back.
Yes, finally, and saw that he just looked like he was that they was dragging his ass all up and through Russia,
Yeah,
that
man.
Russian prison. Because
You
yes,
know it's not a weight for real.
that's what I was saying. I was like, he had lost a lot of weight, and he was like full of like bruises and injuries and stuff like that. So like, not only was he like lost a tremendous amount of weight, he looked like they was in there whooping his ass.
Because they were.
And
He was
then,
making trouble though. He was causing his own ass whoopings every time he got one.
I mean, he was exactly like, he wasn't in there with his head down. He was being a little troublemaker.
Yeah, very much.
But
But that's what got him out. You know what I'm saying? Making trouble.
we see what happened when
That title was hilarious. Yeah, Peter ass Vecna.
who is Peter?
Huh?
Who is Peter?
You know his real name?
Ain't his name Henry?
No, his name was Peter. Henry who?
Creel.
I thought that was his dad.
Victor Creel.
That's Victor Crawley. That's Hatchet. Hold up.
I know I ain't wrong.
Yeah, it's Peter. His name is Peter. I know I wasn't tripping. His name Peter. You talk about Victor Crawley from Hatchet.
So his name was Peter this whole time.
Hold on.
It was.
Mm-hmm. His name was Henry too. It was. Hold on. Yeah, his name. Oh no, his name is Henry, or is it Peter? Yeah, his name is Peter Henry Creel.
That's what like I know. So both.
Is I've been chalking up the how we do the Hulk, because the Hulk is Bruce Banner, but you know David Banner came out of nowhere, so people call him Bruce David Banner. So yeah,
But no,
so
did
that's
he
Peter
raise him
Henry right there.
maybe did they give him the name Peter Ballard, and then but it was really Henry Creel?
I don't know. I just looked it up on freaking the cast thing, and it says Peter Henry Creel.
But it say Peter Ballard, also Henry Creel, and also one, and also Vecna.
I don't know. He found got too many damn names.
Exactly. Anywho, his ass got stuck in the upside down, and it transformed him. And that's where he's been living at all of this time in the shadows, until he felt strong enough to finally face 11. But yeah,
And again,
he's
I
been
still
manipulating the upside down all this time in efforts to draw her back in for what he did to her.
what she did to him.
Yes.
I still
In a way,
say,
it's very evil and devious, but if I was him, I would understand, because if you trap me in this place, I'm gonna get you.
nah, fam, you had it
It's up.
coming.
But if I was Henry, it would be up.
Nah, see, some people make things worse for themselves. They don't even know when to sit down and like take they talking to. Like she gave you a good talking to, and sit your ass upside down. Your ass should have sat down and thought about what you did.
It ain't enough. He said, I'm coming to your neck. It's not enough. But yeah, they finally found 11 after she got out of the lab. Although there was all types of people for her, but
Oh my God.
11 took down a helicopter.
Yeah, the military showed up, and then Papa was trying to keep her from leaving. And he
Putting
drugged her.
that collar on her all over again.
And then the other bro who was part of the lab, he was trying to get her out, but he was hemmed up by his own soldiers. And then Mike and them showed up. So yeah, a lot happened in this one scene. A lot happened. And yeah, she dropped the helicopter.
So she did get her abilities back, is what came out of that. But we also see that yeah, she's back with her powers. She had been able to do that, and this time Papa is gone for real.
Yeah, he got shot. He got in the lung. He caught a big one right in his left lung. He wasn't making that one.
So the guys came and got her right at the right moment, because they was out there. Look like where is that? Like where out here? And
bro
then
found tracks because the one that began how time was his name again? Argyle. Because every time they stop, he out there picking mushrooms. So they stopped. He went off to go do his thing, and he found military truck tracks. And they followed that to the hideout. My thing about that hideout is it's like a tiny porta potty sized doorway in the middle of nowhere. That's not you're not hiding. Like if I see that, I know it's something there.
So the other team, the Dustin's crew,
the upside down crew.
Yes, they enact their plan to Max sacrificed herself and said, he wants me, you can use me as bait. And so when Vecna tries to come and get Max, that they are going to go and attack him in the upside down.
Yeah.
And so, they got some in the real world, some in the upside down. We lost Eddie Munson in this. Steve got his ass whooped by some damn bats from the upside that we hadn't seen until this season. Them bats, because again, Steve be getting dragged through there each season. Them bats tore his ass up.
They were beating his ass, but when he got loose, he was mad, man. He was beating the shit out of the one that was choking him.
I almost thought he was gonna lose Steve in one incident. I was like, "Not my boy."
But this was like I like this scene. Now I'm about to shit on it a little bit. I like it. I like the ending, like the end fight when there was the 2-tier plan, and then 11 showing up in the middle of the plane because she astral projected from across the country in a freaking pizza freezer.
Because they weren't going to be able to fly there in time.
She said,
like, psychically, I can help them.
Yeah, so she helped them fight remotely, and so it was Dustin and but the decoys. He played freaking rock ballad, freaking metal freaking ballad to get the bat's attention. So they all had like a thing in this. At the same time, the freaking jocks figure out that Lucas's sister is at the old Creel house. So Jason, the jock leader, figures that Lucas is there with the rest of his friends. So he goes with a force multiplier. And him and Lucas get into a knockdown, drag out fight. And Lucas was getting his butt kicked for a minute. For a good minute. But bro is senior and Lucas is a freshman. I get it. But all that was happening while Max was getting attacked and 11 was getting her butt beat at the same time. I still say that 11 in this season was not at her full power. And I don't think Vecna is even in her league. Like, because all she got to do is kind of believe in herself. And she be beating ass off of the power of belief. Vecna got all this dark, upside down, mystical, magical shit, and he still can't beat 11. So, and I really feel like she was weakened here. Like, she wasn't back to her full, and she's still beating. Well, I feel like he's not the big bad, man. Like, I feel like he's not the man. He's not the guy. Like I know he's still alive, but I feel like he's not the man. He's not. He ain't it. In my opinion. Oh yeah, this showdown was long.
It was a lot because we got to see how he pulled together the mind flayer, and because he had an obsession with spiders as a child, like that was his kind of like thing. I mean, that's the weird thing. I guess my obsession would be koalas, and they're not going to hurt anybody.
Oh my
But
god,
his obsession was spiders.
they can give you chlamydia.
Why do you have to say that about these precious koalas? But how do you know that they were infected by some evil colonizer to eradicate this species? They didn't get that off on their own, okay? I don't like what they doing over there with those wonderful, soft, gentle, all
Oh
these.
my god, my
I
god.
believe it
And
was a scheme set up by Todd.
you freaking looked at me weird about Lucas a couple seconds ago.
Yes. But while this is happening, yes, we got to see a little bit more about how he's been setting this environment up and for the takedown. And
Mm-hmm.
um, 11 pretty much goes into Max's, she gets into Max's head to try to find her a way to get to Vecna because she's like, at the end of the day, this is who he want. Um, uh, uh, Max got she got towed up a little bit too.
Yeah, man. She got
Max is barely hanging on to life. Me
yeah.
personally, I think that she shouldn't have made it out of this. Like a coma is not good. Sometimes we have to lose people.
Well, she did flatline for a minute
But yeah,
before 11, and that's how the last gate was open. Because the gates open based on the sacrifices, the people that Vecna took out. So she was the last gate, and it opened, and that's why Hawkins had that huge earthquake. And they said what 21 people passed away in that, something like that.
yeah.
They
So
be having some
because
freaking death
even when they
tolls.
said it was like they thought that they won, it was Vecna's like, and this I still won all along. Like
Yeah,
y'all
because
thought
I
that y'all
opened
won.
the
Like
last
it was
gate.
exactly, yeah. Like this really did what I needed it to do anyway, so that I can truly break free.
Yeah, but while he was saying all that, he didn't know that Robin and them was in the crib with the Molotov cocktails, and they lit his ass.
Little Ethan.
Yo, they lit him up, man. That was one of the better scenes too. Like the things that this show is doing are like some of the things that we wish like movies or like characters in movies did back in the day. Like how when they took out Vecna, like his physical form, they did not relent. It wasn't like throw some fire on him and shoot him one time, oh, he hugging and stuff, and now he get no, they
They live by the double tap rule.
bro, triple tap. She hit him so many times with that shotty, and then he got hit with like 3 Molotov cocktails. He got hit with 3 firebombs. That whole scene was overkill, but it was like, yeah, we tired of you, fam. You got to get up out of here.
And
It's messed up how Jason got, even though he wasn't cool, but
yeah, well, sometimes when you think you know and you don't know. But yeah, Lucas, I like that he was the one that was there trying to guard Max, and like let Max know that you don't have to be alone. Like I'm here. You don't have to go through all of this stuff like by yourself. And I even like the moment between this was good acting from Lucas in these final
mm-hmm.
scenes. So I appreciated the scenes with Lucas and even in his sister Erica. Like I feel like because she was like at his on his neck ever since we like was introduced to Erica, but like in
Mm-hmm.
these final scenes, she was just like, you my big brother. Like I want you to be okay. So there was some good acting from the Sinclairs in these final scenes, and we ended off winding it down. Joyce and them got back into town around the same time that Jonathan and the kids got back in town, and 11 finally was reunited with Hopper and was just like, I always believed you was still gonna be here. I was leaving my door open and 3 inches, and he's like, you lost your hair again, and she's like, you lost some weight, you know. So I really really enjoyed her seeing him like that. that is her place of comfort right there. For a child to had grown up her whole life never being protected, he did. He did. And for him to had lost a child early on, and for him to be able to say like I'm going to do what I can to keep this one. Like I couldn't help what happened to my daughter, but I'm choosing to say that maybe this is my purpose to help this one too. Like they're the family that each other chose, and it was really really sweet to see.
Yeah, this is the only surrogate daughter story that's like ending well.
And we know Max ass is in the damn hospital in a coma. Um, Hawkins is in shambles at this point.
And folk leaving.
Yeah, people trying to get the hell out of Hawkins because they like it's too much going on here.
Yeah, man. Like you had the last season, they had 30 something people passed away because of the mind flare that they made up something for. Talking about, I forgot what they made up for that. This time it was an earthquake. It was an earthquake. That did happen, but that wasn't what it was.
Because now a Vecna is slowly integrating the upside down with
Yeah,
Hawkins. Like he's
yeah.
like merging the two.
And we saw
And
that in season 2. We saw the upside down bleeding out into
mhm.
Hawkins.
And this is how we leave from season 4. Is there like we're all we're together now, but what are we what is really happening here? And 11 feeling like she lost. We have Nancy and Jonathan's relationship hanging in the balance because Jonathan is like, you may want to go to college, but I don't think I want to do that right now. At this point, Jonathan don't want to do nothing but get high as a kite with Argyle. And he really don't know what he wants in his future. And Nancy kind of now she's looking at Steve all over again.
And
Well, girl, you should have walked away.
like, you need to leave Steve alone, Nancy.
Exactly. No, exactly. Like, no, back the hell up. Back the hell right on up.
Oh
Steve.
man.
Exactly. Don't come over here tiptoeing around now. Go leave it back. We saw, Will kind of like for the first time truly coming to terms really with how he feels about like Mike, and not just I think the older he was getting he was realizing like I don't just care about him as my best friend, I care about him a little bit more, but seeing that like Mike is always gonna love Will as his friend, like he's not gonna turn his back on him, but Mike loves 11, like he loved that girl.
Mm-hmm.
He really loved that girl. But Jonathan actually even seeing his brother also for the first time, like, God
Yeah,
damn.
Will. Yeah. Jonathan noticed.
Yeah, I was
Jonathan
like,
finally noticed, but he kind of Jonathan is a quiet observer because he notices things and doesn't say shit. But um, in that scene when they was in the van, Will was trying to convince Mike that he was like the heart of the group, and that because Mike felt like he was worthless. Because 11 was like he said Superman, like 11 came to him the way that Superman did, a person with powers out of nowhere. That he was like, but I'm not even Lois Lane. Like she's a accomplished reporter and shit. I'm just Mike. So he felt like he couldn't provide anything for 11 on the level of protection and that kind of stuff. So he felt useless, and like,
mhm.
and Will had to tell him like everybody's not the person that's gonna like punch the bad guy in the face. You know what I'm saying? Some of us need to be here for the hearts and minds of the group, because we ain't all right, bruh. Like we're not all right. So you kind of always been that grounded individual for all of us, and especially me, even though he wanted to say more to that, but you know, that whole
I
time
think Mike
scene.
was having some imposter syndrome when it came to 11.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, that
And that it
he
took
made
his
a
best
statement
friend.
that was
Yeah.
vicarious, a vicarious statement.
And it took his best friend to kind of remind him about like who he truly was. And so we had that happening all within this season. We lost Eddie Munson. Dustin was able to go to Eddie's uncle, I think it was, to like
Yeah,
let him know, like, although everybody thinks that he's caused some of these things, but he's actually a hero.
yeah,
And I know they're not going to talk about it, but I'm going to keep his spirit alive and like let you know that what they're saying about him is not true and that your nephew was the person you thought he was.
I wonder what it did with his body though. It just left him upside down. Like,
I mean, bring him back for what?
why not? He's dead. You already you have a explanation for why the earthquake.
Anybody got time to do all that?
What? Don't want to bury the man? Bury me, goddamn. Yo, bury me. Take me back.
They might as well. We ain't got time for all that. Let's move this train along. So that's how we end. So I'm not even sure how we're going to begin season 5, but as we can see, Vecna is starting to blend over into Hawkins. At this point, I will be trying to leave Hawkins as well, because why am I here? Let's go.
I still think in the end, the Mind Flayer gonna betray Vecna because I think he's using them.
I don't think so. I think that the Mind Flayer was created from Vecna to go after 11, but I guess we'll find that out in season 5. We shall see. Y'all let us know, what are your thoughts and how are you feeling about this last and final season? Who do you think will fall victim of Vecna and whatever else is going on? Like, who you think is just not gonna make it in season 5, or who do you want to still make it out of season 5? What do you want to see happen with these characters in this upcoming season? Are some, any resolutions that need to happen? Do you not want the group to be, split apart anymore? Do you want to see different people using different aspects of their character dynamics and with their families, or with the group dynamics? Like, what do you want to see with our Hawkins crew in this upcoming season? All I'm saying is, don't touch my Sinclairs and Steve.
I hear you. I think Will might not make it out. Cause I mean, it would line up with like how useless he's been for him to be like the most useful, but that usefulness is a sacrifice.
Yeah. The way they've been talking is making it seem like Lucas ain't been there, because it's been a lot of. I've been looking at their little mini interview clips and stuff, and the way like the cast has been talking and the way that they kind of respond with like Lucas, it's giving Lucas my. Now, why would y'all, when Sadie is right there, when Max is right there in the hospital, just go ahead and take her and not Lucas? But
Terrible.
It's giving.
And the only way Lucas, in my opinion, would go out is if it's a scenario where he has to do something to save Max. Like
they were saying something like, in the final episodes, and he was like, the final episode or my final episode? And I'm like, Lord, don't do that. No.
That's some Tom Holland level of freaking spoilers. Tom Holland real good for saying some shit in the interview.
That's why they gotta hold him back, because he just be saying stuff.
Oh yeah, they had to put him on the contract. He had to sign the contract. And
he can't help sometimes.
He can't. Him or Mark Ruffalo. You gotta play Hulk. Both of them.
Some people just not good at keeping secrets.
Man, they goofy.
That's maybe why they like him, because she probably gonna be like, Tom ain't never gonna lie to me. All I gotta do is look at him real hard, and he's gonna break.
Right. She goofy too. That's why they're together, because he goofy as shit.
I know. I love them. But I don't know, from the little interviews and things, it's not looking so good for Lucas. In my mind, I also feel like I'm not sure if Hopper is going to make it, because I know if it comes between him and 11, he's going to do what needs to be done.
Man, you got to stop with that. We done had too much of Hopper's. Hopper's not here no more. Like, don't do that again. Give me somebody new. I'm thinking Will, because Will is like, man, Will goes out with all that unspoken
This who I think need to go. Lil Ethan Hawke, because you ain't been there that long.
Really?
You can go. Jonathan, because Steve been raising them kids way more than you. You can go. Wow. Mike's dad can go.
Wow, because it ain't Brad no more. I mean, that's what you got there.
I'm talking about Mike.
Come on, Mike. Yeah, man. Get him out of here, man. Mike dad could have.
So Mike's daddy can go.
He could have got
Lil Ethan Hawke can go.
You're hilarious.
Robin. Okay, that's her name. I could think. Yeah, Lil Ethan Hawke can go.
Terrible.
And Jonathan can go. And I wouldn't. shed a tear.
Get called Robin Training Day. Terrible.
Every time I see her, she looks just like your daddy.
I mean,
But I'm sorry,
boy,
Robin. You ain't been there as long as the rest of the crew. Our hearts ain't really for in it with you.
Robin is a cool character though.
She's cool, but like she's expendable. Like I wouldn't care if she was gone or not. Like you get the hell up out of here.
I
And it
mean,
really wouldn't matter to me.
low
So I mean,
key, Will whole family can go except Nancy. Will and Nancy survive, and even the little girl.
you mean Mike?
Yeah, Mike. Mike and Will. Too many Mikes and Wills, man. It's a Will and Derry.
And a Mike.
And a Mike.
Hit.
Too many Mikes and Wills. There's a Mike and freaking Twisted Metal.
So like I said, those are my top three that they can be expendable. It ain't gonna hurt me that much. But y'all drop in the comments. And again, make sure you hit like and subscribe if you have not. And make sure that you are here with us. Turn on those notifications because we will be covering Stranger Things season 5. They have split it into like 3 different dates. We're gonna get Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's. So make sure y'all are here for it. And we will see everybody in the next one.
I can put you in a log cabin somewhere in Aspen. Girl, ain't nothing to the pain, ain't checking if you got it.
Go to the police, not now. He's made sure of that.
Put you in a
He's
mansion
out there and he's watching us.
somewhere in West
What are you waiting for, huh?
Like I said, ain't nothing to the pain. We can change the last name. What's happening? Cause you look so good. Tell me why you wanna work here. Put you on the front page of a King magazine, but you gon' get yourself hurt, yeah. Hey, baby, I brought you in the back just to have a conversation. Really think you need some ventilation. Let's talk about you and me. Oh,
We
I
go
can't
from
believe it.
taking Kel to the hospital to catching a goddamn snake.
Me. I think she want me. Nah, I can't leave her lonely. No, ooh, I can't believe it. Ooh, she all on me.
Lay low until he knows you're alone, and then he's gonna come back to you.
I can't leave her lonely. No. And you don't understand, she made the people say, yeah.
Abraham Whistler.
Yeah.
Met Blade.
Yeah. She hit the main stage, she made the people say, yeah.